van. That's right, guys, there's never enough lighting in your van. I don't care how many lights I put in here, it still feels like it's dark to me, especially in the winter time. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be fiddling around with some lights and doing some experimenting, so hang tight. Okay, as you can see, this is a real messy mess here. And excuse me, but yeah, I live in my van. I don't just put pictures of it up on the internet, so it's going to be trashed. But anyway, here's what I got going on here right now. There's, as you can see, this really nice LED strip light I've got here. And it has its own double-sided tape that kind of sticks to everything. And it's kind of working out okay until we get all the way over here. And then the tape kind of fails. This could be easily fixed, though. I could put some better GHB tape on there, which is basically the 3M stuff that's all weather. It would probably work pretty good. But the thing with the metal inside of my van, because the way the paint is, nothing sticks to it really well. Not even Velcro. I have tried Velcro strips. I have tried everything. The only thing I can get to work in here really is the really good BHB tape and magnets. You know, these hooks right here, these are magnets. You can't really magnetize lights too well, at least not in my experience. And command strips, which is what's holding my calendar here, is one of these command hooks. That seems to work okay. So what I'm thinking of doing is I've got a new strip of lights, and I was going to see if I could use command strips to put it up. But first, I want to show you guys what I got going on here. This right here, this big tangled mess, is basically an experiment. And here, before I go any further, let me go get something. Okay, so what that tangled mess up there I showed you was an experiment I did. And basically what I did was I took one of these battery-packed fairy lights, and you guys can do this too. And I took the battery pack off, and since this is like 12 volt basically, it's less than 5 amps or whatever the heck it is, I don't know. I get all this volts and amps and blah 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 mixed up. As long as you know what you're doing, you don't have to know all the terminology. But anyway, I took this off, and I basically hooked it into my main system, and I'm going to take you over there right now and show you how I did that. Okay guys, so because I have not upgraded to a strictly USB system yet, and it mostly has cigarette lighter holder things, I have a cigarette lighter holder thing here that has the USB stuff on it. And what I do is I take this switch that's basically a USB switch, and I plug it into there. This is very convoluted. This is probably something you don't need to do, but because this was an experiment, I didn't want to just hook this up to my fuse block. Which, you know, I could have done. I could have cut the end off of this and then hooked it into my fuse block. And the reason why I got this switch is because these little fairy lights, they don't have a switch on them because they're from the little battery pack. The battery pack has the switch. And so I basically just took an old cell phone charger cord and wired it to the end of the lights. And now I have this USB that I can plug into this, like this, of course, and then it goes into the cigarette lighter holder, and I can turn my lights off and on however I choose. So as you can see, it's pretty much a Frankenstein system. And to top it all off, it wasn't as long as I wanted it to be. So I took another set of the lights, and I don't have a soldering iron, so don't try this at home, you guys. But I basically, I don't know if you can see that. I took this all apart so you can see it. Maybe you can't. But I twisted the positive and the negative wires together so that I could have a longer strip. Okay? This is not something I recommend, but I did it because I had these lights on hand. They were pretty much given to me. I figured I had nothing to lose. They're not going to really cause a fire or do anything because they're just little tiny nothing wires. And I'm in here all the time watching it, so it's no big deal. And it was just to see if this kind of thing could work, and basically it did. But when I have them on, because because these are not really soldered or anything, and they're so tiny and they move around. The second string of lights doesn't always get enough juice to stay on, and so it kind of flickers sometimes, or it turns off, things like that, and it's kind of annoying. And one of the reasons why I didn't really string it up nice is because when you try to string it up nice, it decides it's going to short out. So I just kind of have them hanging here, which is okay, but it's kind of annoying too. So today I thought, since I've got my new lights in the mail, I decided to put them up and possibly take at least half of these down. I don't really need this whole big long strip now that I have other lights. I could, if I decide to use this, I could just cap these off and just use the main strip. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Hopefully all this will make sense in just a minute. Okay, so what we have here is something really cool. This is still a USB setup, and it actually came like this in the mail, so I didn't have to fiddle with it or do anything. And the cool part is it's remote controlled. So besides the fact that it has its own little button, I don't know if you guys can see that because it's kind of weird looking, but this is a little button right here where my thumb is. And it can switch off and on and change to 15 different color schemes and things like that. And it also has this remote, so I don't have to bend down if I don't want to and get behind my cooler and everything else and push this little button. So that makes this very convenient. So I'm very happy that I got these, and Amazon sells several of these kind. You just have to type in USB powered LED lights or USB powered fairy lights, and they should come up. And this is the easiest way to do it, I think, to basically have what you want. You can also take household ones that are similar to this and just cut the power cord off, and then, you know, jack it right into your 12-volt fuse box. I thought about doing that, but then when I saw these, I figured this would be just as good and probably easier to do. So that's what we're going to do, is I'm going to plug these things in, and then we're going to hang them up. And I'm going to use these little command strips to do it because, like I said earlier, it's one of the few things I can find that will stick on the stuff that I have in this van. Okay, so it kind of comes wrapped up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm going to take this little wire, which is actually, you know, part of the wire, off like this. I just wanted to show that it does come wrapped up like this, so you're going to have to untangle it first. There you go. Okay, so that's that. And I think the remote, I'm not sure, but I think the remote has a battery that came with it. It looks like it does because there's this little plastic tabby thing. I don't know. I guess you gotta, I guess, pull it out, and it should probably work, I'm hoping. But we'll find out in a minute. Okay, so I had to untangle some of this stuff. There's quite a bit of it here. And I guess I'm just gonna plug it into this thing, and if it'll go in there. And then plug it into my almost embarrassed to show it, really old power station here that I got at the thrift store. And as you can see, the lights did come on. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And they work. Okay, let's see what this remote can do. Okay, they're on right now, so I see if it'll turn them off. Yep, it turned them off. Awesome. Now back on. Hey, that's pretty cool. And there's red mode. Green, I guess, is up. I don't know. I don't see green coming on though. I like red. It's kind of what I got them for. Huh, well, there goes blue. I don't see any green coming on. But they're supposed to change colors. They're not really doing it though, huh? They do it with the little switch on the thing, I'm sure. Oh, I see. Okay, so I'll switch it back over to red if it'll do it. Okay, now it's gonna go to that kind of red. Kind of, oh, I see. Okay, well, that's interesting. All right, so if you get one of these, the red mode has different colors down this way. So now I guess we're on yellow, oh, almost green. That's the green mode. And you just gotta, I guess, switch them according to the row that you're in. Doesn't work very well, but that's okay because I didn't get them to be switching back and forth all the time. I got them mostly for the warm colors anyways. So I'm not going to be using much of the cool colors or the bright colors on it. And there's the bright white. I might do that if I'm having to do certain lighting in here for filming or whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty neat, you guys. I think it works pretty good. Considering I only paid like, I think 10 bucks for this thing. And it was a made in China kind of deal. So that's cool. I guess I just have to practice, practice playing with it. But I like the red mode a lot, and that's what I normally use is warm colors. There's a yellowy color. And I just want red. So that is pretty dang cool. So I'm liking that. So now all we got to do is, now that I'm done playing with it, we're going to try to hang it up and see what happens. Like I said, guys, yeah, stuff doesn't really stick to this van very well. The paint part or the insulation part that I put up in here. And that's one of the reasons why there's no layers on the ceiling. You know, I didn't put any fabric up here because I knew it wouldn't stick. Okay, so hang on tight here, and the next clip I'll be hopefully hanging this stuff up. These command strip thingies aren't working too well either. I don't know if you can see, but I had to put some tape on them, and they're still not sticking in a lot of spots. And I tried to put it up along the ceiling like I wanted to, but of course, if they're not going to stick on the sides very well, they're not going to stick on the ceiling either. Like I say, all of this is just an experiment anyways, but as you can see, it's pretty crappy. I'm pretty disappointed. I think it's kind of a fail. And also, on top of that, the lights, for some reason, every once in a while, half of them will turn green. I'll have them on red, and then like half of it will just turn bright green for no reason. And I have to shut them off and then turn them back on again. So, you know, can't expect too much because these are the little Chinese lights, you know, but yeah, just to give you guys a heads up on that. That might happen to you guys. If you get some of these, they might do some funky stuff, which is fine, you know. They're just little fairy lights. So yeah, I'll see what I can do, but yeah, so far today, this is like an epic failure as far as I'm concerned. It's not really working out the way I wanted it to. Okay, you guys, so for now, I just had to string it up here underneath the old roof rib, because that's the only place I can get these stupid things to stick properly, and they may not even stay, but I still taped them anyway. You probably can't see that, but it's one of those little command hook things. And then, like I said before, one of the old harness hooks is still here. I never took these out on purpose because I knew I'd be using them for stuff, so that's gonna help. And then we'll see how long these things stay up there on the side there, but you could even kind of see that there's tape on them. But that's the best I can do with that. So I don't know. Okay guys, so as you can see, not every project in your van is going to work out exactly the way that you planned. But anyway, at least it's a little bit more light and it's going to help. But yeah, like I say, if You get a van and you put a fiberglass high top on it, and then you try to insulate it with certain things. Yeah, stuff might not always stick. And to the fiberglass itself as well. So if you're thinking about like painting the fiberglass and not putting anything on it, or just gel coating it, just know that you're probably going to have a really, well, you are going to have a really hard time sticking anything to it or whatever. It's just not going to want to go. And like I said, I've used everything I can think of, and the only thing that I have found that works on occasion are the command strips and magnets. Magnets are about the only thing I could do in this place. That's why I've got a lot of stuff just stuck up with magnets. So just so you guys know, and FYI, it's not going to be easy just putting stuff up on bare walls or whatever. Depending on your van build, you know, you can go real fancy and put wood behind the walls and then put up a whole bunch of plywood or wood or something like that. Then you can like put stuff on it. But as far as the way I did my van, yeah, there's really no way of sticking stuff. So yeah, we'll see how these lights do. They should be all right. I just wanted some extra lighting, and particularly I wanted some warm colors, especially red in the wintertime, because it's supposed to be good for you. It's supposed to help enhance your mood and things like that. So I totally wanted some red lights in here, and so these will, you know, fit the bill for now, and we'll experiment with them and see how they go. And yeah. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you got some ideas out of this funky little video. If you did, please like and subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff. And all right, we'll talk to you on the next one. All right, guys, bye.